Welcome to the Cocktail Show. This is week 52, aka the last episode. Alright, for the last time, let's go through the deck. Alright, so as usual, we're talking about coq-tale, which is a meme coin on Avalanche. You can go see what they're doing on the official website. And actually, we're gonna go there quickly. So if you go to coq-tale.com, it's pretty nicely done website. You can see the market cap, the volume traded, and then more importantly, the list of centralized exchanges where you can find it. But yeah, the wallets most important, I think, is the ecosystem here. I think they should have a count here. It'll be nice to know for each of those different categories, like how many we have in the total. Um, but yeah, you can basically browse on this carousel the different partners in the ecosystem or things that are related to it. And then good thing is at least you know that this is linked to the right address and right website. So yeah, if you're interested in the ecosystem, it's better to go through the the official website so that you're sure that you're going to the right places. So yeah, tokenomics, great. It's a truly community-owned token. But yeah, so feel free to go check it out here directly. Yeah, we don't have statistics about the ecosystem, but remember Dano actually does it. He's on the break for the holidays, but you can just follow what he's doing going forward. And yeah, so for this last one, we're going to go through kind of the same thing. Talk about some of the numbers on the social, look at the charts, look at some stats, look at what happened during the week, and then we'll buy, and then I have some closing thoughts. All right, so in terms of community, I'm just following X. There's no change from last week, so 77K as well. Again, this is a good indicator, but the number of holders um, on chain is more important. But still, this hasn't moved. If we look at the chart, again, the holders is going up, so 87 will be the final number. So we didn't reach the 100K. It is what it is. And we had a huge drop week over week of around 38% down. So we kind of back to that trend of being around 100 million market cap. And so, which means that I'll be ending this in the red. But it's okay. So if we look at the number of holders, as I said, flat on socials, increasing on chain, so that's the important trend. And for my bags, this is basically a snapshot from last week. Taking account after the buy from last week, I was still positive, and after this one, I'll go back to red, and I'll get live so that we can see the final numbers. All right, so what happened during the week? There's an update from Wojak, one of the founders of the coin, for 2024. So if you go bullet by bullet, there are a billions in volume. Okay, that's great. So that means, but the price hasn't moved much, right? And so net, it means that there are a lot of token exchanging hands, but not a trust of it, enthusiasm, right? So because it means that people are buying and selling, and net we're kind of not moving. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's great that things are moving. I think that's velocity of token exchange is good. It's more important than price. And the fact that the number of holders is increasing, it's a good sign. So we'll see in my final remarks. It's good to be patient. Community sports book cookbook. I really like this idea. I think that's great. Um, and then there's a bunch of listings, which is great for visibility. Even though at the end of the year of this 52 weeks, we still don't have Coinbase or Binance, so the big ones chose not to actually list Cock at this point. So there's some questions to think like, okay, like what could make them actually decide to do that? And then the bullet point on chicken and FT with the cockfight. We talked about cockfights. Uh, in the game, you can basically wager cock, but I'm wondering if there could be a better way to integrate cock into the ecosystem. We'll talk about that a little bit as well. I'm gonna compare basically, I'd say like even though it's not super fair, but like chicken and cog versus another project. Um, and then there are murals, so that's kind of like more like real life, and that's also something I want to talk about. It's good to have like those murals, like those real life things, but for cog, maybe we should push for something a bit more like meaningful in terms of like real life stuff. And then stuff on the Beeple side, the Giphy, uh, like create activities on socials, some meetups, that's great. Some like gaming integration, but most of those are actually like done by quote unquote like indie people, like small, like one two people teams, like building like small games. Again, it's not a bad thing. It's great. I'm just stating what's happening. And then one thing that I really like is this integration in Banky of like the integrated market where you can deposit COG and then borrow against it. You can borrow USDC. That's huge, at least to me. And then I'll talk about that at the end. That's one thing I'm gonna do after like basically closing this. Is actually move things to Banky and then use that as collateral. And then there's new thing like Chainlink Oracle. We'll talk about it. Stuff around like uh, Avalanche, which is like an initiative for like art on AVAX. I'm not sure it's a huge success. I haven't seen anything that like was like outstanding out of it. And then the cards, I think it's a good idea. Um, it might be lacking a bit of consistency, like focus on like what they are trying to build as like a set of cards. And then the Cook Media, which is great. So they're trying to consolidate all the efforts, like the media effort around the token. That's great. But same thing, same critique, quote unquote, which is just a bit like disorganized, I'd say, because it's also like a grassroots effort, I would say. And then there's some merch, and that's another thing I want to talk about. Uh, with NFT Treasure or NF Treasure, I think it's a great initiative. And then, okay, some presentation during the summit, and coq-tale to be able to like create new memes basically. All right, so three other things. So Chainlink has now like supports COG like as low latency market data, so it's easier to get data by COG using Chainlink. And then there are two platforms, Slingshot and Universal X, that are basically, I think, kind of doing the same thing. All right, so Slingshot is basically focused on meme coins. I think Universal X is a bit more like Universal, as the name basically says, and you can basically exchange. So for Slingshot, you can buy meme coins using USDC, independent of the platform or the blockchain. For Universal X, you can trade any token from any chain, and you don't have to like bridge things. And for Slingshot, I think the big advantage is that you can use your like Apple Pay accounts to do that. So it feels a bit less constrained by being like on chain. All right, with that, let's just go ahead and buy. All right, so let's go to LFJ. So for 100 USDC, I'll get 62 mil. Let's do it. Yeah, and with Avalanche 9000, which one? Avalanche 9000 now, like the fees are very small. It's great. There we go. So the final balance will be 294 for this series, so just under 3. So we're going to update this. All right, and after that, we're actually going to have some closing thoughts. But before that, I want to show the final numbers. And so I'm going to update my spreadsheet. So let me do my update. Buys. Just bear with me. Okay, so we're at minus 32% down. Ooh, see that jump down. Definitely in the red. Okay, maybe I'll go faster like this. There we go. All right, so final number. We go to the charts. Not this one. Yep. So last week I was up. Now I'm down. So this is basically my like how much I spent. To 5,200. Now right now I'm at 4,700. Like in USDC value, I'm at 2.94 billion coq. And as you can see, like the wave went up a lot, and then down, and back up, and then down for a while, and then back up, and now we're down. All right, so this is this. So finally, in the end, right now I'm in the red. This we've seen already. But yeah, we are in terms of like change in holders, we're up like 134%. So which is great. And we're close to 87,000. Okay, back to closing thoughts. So first thing I want to say is I think it's important to have an investment plan. So my plan, as I was presenting every week, was to just buy 100 USDC every week. I put together the plan at the very beginning, right? It's going to be 100 USDC. I'm going to do it for a year, whatever happens. And so because I had a plan, objective plan, measurable, I could see like week over week how things went. And sometimes I was up, sometimes down. Right now I'm down, but it is what it is. So that's one part of the investment plan. So like what I'm going to do, and then you need to have also a plan at the end. So what's the end? What do you do? So in my case, as I said, so right now, actually, if we change and look at maybe this absolute P&L chart, so this is basically the spending, and if it's up here, it's basically like the profit I made. If it's down, it's like the loss. So right now I'm at almost like $500 loss. Um, I'm done, so I'm not buying for this series, but I have a plan for afterwards. I'm going to basically take that and put it into Banky, and then just wait and use like the amount to borrow and then reimburse, etc. And just play with it because I feel like there's a chance, that's my thesis, that um, Avalanche will be like a very notorious platform in the future. And so because coq as the prime meme coin is well positioned, I mean it's possible that this coin will be used for like trading, etc., more heavily, and this will basically help the price recover. And because also we have this integration in Banky, it means that you don't need to sell it to realize profit. You can just borrow against it, and so that means that there's a bit more protection, like sell protection. I mean, you can see that right now, like we have like a 30 something percent down, so things happen. Like price is going to go up and down, but it is what it is. I can see that like the $100 million, which is huge market cap, is pretty well like defended. And so I'm not selling. I'm just going to move that to Banky to be able to have like some purchasing power. But you could have a different approach. The important thing is to basically have it in advance. Maybe your approach was okay. Um, I'm going to go for a certain percentage of profit, and the first time I hit it, I'm just going to sell and be done. So, for instance, you could say, okay, I want to double my money, and so the first time you get to 100, so that would be like around here. So that would have been like in April of 2024. That will be the time where you just decide to sell. And so at this point, you just sell and you're done. So if you look at, I said this would be actually, yeah, 3rd of April. If you look at the absolute P&L chart, 3rd, oh, sorry, is it, no, it's March 4th. March 4th, you would have profited, I would have profited, let's say, like 1100, right? As you can see, it's not the max profit, right? Because I think I got max profit the week after, at almost like 3000 up. But there's no way you can know, right? So it's important to just like have something in mind. So it could be like a percentage. Okay, I want to double. I want to have 100% um, profit. So yeah, I would stop here. Or it could have been like, I don't know, a certain number. Okay, I want to have like $2,000 profit, right? And so in this case, like once I get to that, I'll stop. So it would have been here. I would have just stopped and be done, right? Or you could say, okay, once I do something, I'll remove half or whatever. But the important thing is just to have a plan in advance. Okay, going back to here. Oh, another thing is, um, this is a chart showing um, like how much I paid, like a week over week um, to buy a cock, and this is basically the average token price I bought it from if we take into account the entire history. So you can see that this average token price is kind of like a smoother version of the actual price that I pay. And usually it's like either down, like kind of close to where we at. But more importantly, this is my break-even price. So this is the reason why you DCA, dollar cost average. So I'm buying like 100 USDC week over week, and so it like mentally it's easier to just say, okay, I'm just spending 100 USDC this week. It could be 100, could be 10, could be whatever you can afford, right? That way, like if you lose it, it's fine. It's just 100, right? Obviously, I did it at the end. It's like 5200, right? But um, I'm only quote unquote losing at this point like 500, right? Instead of let's say I decided to buy last week and then like 5200 in one go, and then I get 30% down out of it, right? Instead, I'm not 30% down, right? I'm like 10% down, right? And if you look at the history of like up and down, it went all over the place, like minus 20, plus 257, etc., etc. Right? The thing is, like, you get a lot of highs. I mean, a few highs and like some lows. Lows, like when you buy, you see it down, and so you kind of like improving your purchase price. And so all this, I've been improving my purchase price, and so once we get a little bit of like tick up of the price, then it's easier to be positive, right? So that's why I'm not too worried. So like this is my final like break even price. So basically, as long as we are like uh over this price, I'm in profit. So I could also decide in the future, okay, I want to sell if my price is like if the price is like whatever 30% above this or 100% above whatever, right? So that's the important thing to like be to measure what you're doing, and so that's why I've been like having all these charts and looking at what's happening, and like also giving confidence, like or at least like peace of mind that I'm pacing what I'm doing, like week over week, and so every time it's just a delta of 100, and so it's okay, because I know that things are gonna smooth out, average out, and it's 100, and so it's not like I'm betting the rent money or whatever, right? All right. Second thing is quality over quantity. So Cog Inu is like the biggest on Avalanche, and I believe that Avalanche has some potential, and so that's why I'm focusing on this. There are a lot of things happening around that have had like short-term like better success in other blockchains, etc. But I chose to focus on this, and I can see that it is durable because there are a lot of activities around. This also is a one thing that I think the people around the ecosystem could do better. Just like focus a bit more on what you want to do and think of like durable things you could do. Um, And then it's important to be patient. So that goes with this focus, right? So Warren Buffett said, like the stock market's the device to transfer money from the impatient to the patient. Obviously, we're not talking about the stock market. We're talking about the crypto market. The crypto market is a very, very young market, and so anything goes. You're gonna see like huge ups, huge downs, etc., until things like get a little bit better organized and built, but that means that there's a lot of opportunities. So the opportunity is in the fact that there's a lot of volatility. Going back to this quality over quantity. So and also going back to the 2024 list from Wojak, I think that there's an opportunity here to be a bit more focused, and with and I know like chicken is not directly linked to cock, but I want to take like do a business case with like pudgy penguins. So you know pudgy penguins, those little adorable penguins. So they're like an NFT project. They've been through like ups and downs as well. I'm not gonna go through this all this, but in like 2 weeks ago, basically, they introduced a coin, a token, a pengu. It was 2 weeks ago, and recently, there are above 500,000 holders. Remember, we're trying to crack that 100,000 holders with um, with coq-tale. It's been more than a year. So you can say that, okay, Pitcher Penguin has been around since 2021. So that's again another thing of what I said. It's a question of focus and being durable. And so we'll get to, for sure, 100,000 holders at some point. But the strategy they did, which is fine, it's different. But I think this is good to see like what they've been doing and like lessons that could be learned from there, right? So around the NFT project, so if you go to their website, um, they have NFTs, right? So that was the first thing they did. And you look, I mean, like the floor price is basically like a bit under like 20 ETH, right? The market cap, if you take this floor, you times the items, is basically it's like 500 million. Um, and so they have like NFTs, but they also have basically like clothes like lines. So they basically create this brand, Igloo, um, representing Pudgy, and so they have like an entire brand, right? I want to go back. That's not what I wanted to click on. They have a shop. Pa, pa, pa. Well, that's not what I wanted to show, but basically they're also like on um the shop. Does it work? Yeah. So you can buy stuff. I mean, that's not necessarily this. Like they have plushies and stuff like this, right? And you can find those at Walmart, etc. And so obviously because they're cute. I mean, people are buying the pudgies, but this is like really good focus and brand creation for something that is real, right? And so I think there's a huge potential for cock to do something similar. Obviously, the thing is, cocky new you cannot sell it to kids, right? Those are cute stuff. So you need to figure out like what you want to build in terms of brand. I don't know. It could be like I mean clothing, like shoes, whatever. But something that's meaningful with what the meme, the coin represents, not necessarily the meme. You could also drop Inu, right? And just be cock and find something, right? And then on the NFT aspects, like Cog doesn't have like a direct NFT like line. It's which is fine. There's chicken, for instance, already. And so I wish there was like a better integration of like or like collaboration to make things work, right? So um, chicken has cockfight, which has been in alpha or beta, um, and people have been playing and they like the game. Problem is adoption is low because people are not. I mean, you need like a chicken to be able to play, and and so that means that there's only you need to be like in the crypto space. You need to, furthermore, like be on Avalanche, etc. And so that kind of like limits things. And if you look at the um, the marketplace, right, the floor price is actually pretty low compared to what you see on Pudgy Penguins, right? Um, I mean, again, Pudgy Penguin has been around longer, slightly actually, versus cock or chicken. But I think there's something there to like better integrate this, increase adoption, build brand, and then turn everything into something a bit more solid. All the stuff are in place, and then the last thing is for the branding part. Um, so they have just like this Igloo brand. I don't know if they have like some like NFT aspect integrated to that. Not that you really need it, but at least for COG, if you remember, there's the NFT treasure, and with NFT treasure, you can build merch, but with in addition like some like NFTs integration. So the value prop could be bigger. Again, that could be collaboration. And I like the fact that, I mean, in this case, I mean, there's pros and cons to the fact that it's collaboration, it's not everything centralized, but it has to be that way because Cock is more of a community token, right? So there are founders, but they don't like there's no like team really behind. I mean, people can self-organize to build stuff and collaborate, but this is something that will need focus. But yeah, if you could do that, that'd be great. And then yeah, so last thing is yes, have a thesis. So it's good to have opinions, right? you have to do your own research. You have to look at things, look at numbers, and then decide to keep going or stop based on some criteria that you basically, if you put them in advance, it's better than just if you build them on the fly. But yeah, that's important. And then have faith within limits, right? So things will go up and down, etc. And so if you keep track of things, you'll better understand volatility, right? And then it's good to challenge things. Just challenge your thoughts, challenge people, challenge the team, etc. Right? So there's always going to be like ups and downs. Again, if we go look at the prices and like how things change. But yeah, you have to challenge. All right. With all that, I want to say thank you for whoever has been following this. It's been fun. And yeah, to be honest, I'm happy to be done. Yeah, I had to do that through like traveling, etc. Sometimes it was not easy to just find a way to buy and continue week over week and do it live. But yeah, that was great. So again, I'm done. I'm just gonna move that to Banky and then focus more on Avalanche and the ecosystem. Try to like better understand some of the new projects, especially with Virtual 9000. And I might do like new videos in the future, more regular, less regular, but probably more on the Avalanche ecosystem. We'll see. All right. Thank you for following and bye bye.